Alrighty, welcome to another Markovs at Karlov Manor draft. We've got a nice pick one, pack one here. Yarus, Roar of the Old Gods. 4 mana, 4/4. Your other creatures have haste. Whenever one of your face down creatures deals damage to your opponent, you draw a card. Well, one or more, so it's one per combat. But if they do block it, if they do kill one of your face down creatures, they come back and then they flip. So this is an absurd card. I am going to take it over Coerce to Kill, though this card's also very good. Control magic that also turns into a 1/1 Death Touch. So still, Yarus and then draft a bunch of disguised creatures seems like a great plan to me. Possibility Storm, funny. Ooh, a Killer Among Us. This has a lot of text on it, way too much, but it's actually one of the best uncommons in the set. It's 5 mana for 3 tokens, and then you get to sack it to put 3 +1/+1 counters on one of the tokens and it gains Death Touch, but it's only the type of the one that you secretly chose beforehand, so their opponent has a bit of a guessing game. Still, that is a fantastic card, and my first 2 picks being very strong cards, a red-green gold card and a mono-green card, means I'm feeling pretty good about playing red-green here. Obviously, we'll see what the other packs have to offer, but have a good 4-drop, have a good 5-drop. Now it's time to pick up some 3s. Well, we'll start by picking up a 2. 2 mana, deal 3. And if you've drawn an extra card, it actually deals 5 instead. So pretty nice. This format has been interesting to kind of get into. There is a lot going on. Black seems generally pretty bad, but red-green seems good. Red-white seems good. I think red-blue has some potential. I wish the synergy decks were like a little bit better, but there is some stuff going on, and I like the disguise theme in red-green. So let's keep going and pick up, a Tunnel Tipster. This is going really well. So this is a 2 mana 1/1, taps for a green. But if you play a disguise creature, it gets a +1/+1 counter at the end of turn. So now that I have Tunnel Tipster, I've got also a sick 2/4 or 5 curve just off the cards I have now, but mostly it's just another good thing to play on turn 2 before you start playing disguised creatures, because I don't have any of those yet, but those are not hard to pick up. There's a lot of them, and I'm sure I'll be able to pick up some good ones. All right, this pack has Person of Interest. 4 mana 2/2 it's a 2/2 suspect that also makes a 2/2 detective that's following it. But there's also Bite Down on Crime, +2/+0 and bite, and it's cheaper if you collect evidence. I think I'd rather just take the removal spell and trying to pick up some disguised creatures like exactly Vengeful Creeper to fill out the rest of the curve. Rope is also pretty good. If you put this on a suspect, they can't block it at all, because this says can't be blocked by more than one creature, and Menace says you have to block 2 creatures, so can't fulfill both conditions. But I think Vengeful Creeper is where I want to be, just because of Yarus and Tunnel Tipster and other cards I'm sure I'm going to get later. I really do want to make sure I pick up enough disguised creatures, so we're on our way there. That said, there is Undercover Crocodile, but Topiary Panther I think is also pretty good. A 2 mana basic land cycler. It gives you something to do on turn 2, and it's really good to collect evidence. Bite Down on Crime is really easy to cast for cheap if you've cycled a Topiary Panther on turn 2. So I'm going to take that over Cease and Desist, Undercover Crocodile, and then those 2 5-drops. And then there we go. Rift Burst Hellion. Perfect. This is exactly what we want. 6/7 reach with Disguise. Passing up on an Airtight Alibi. And this is like a perfect 8 cards. We've got the rare, a bomb uncommon, a removal spell, a 2-drop mana dork, a bite spell, and then a land cycler and 2 disguised creatures. It's like the perfect ratio too. Yeah, this is a start to a good draft, I think, here. And then here we've got Get a Leg Up, +1/+1 and reach, +1/+1 for each creature you control and reach, but it's also V2Gazi Inspector, 1/3 reach, and then if you collect evidence, it gets a +1/+1 counter and 2 life. I think I'll take the Inspector. I don't know. I'm not super thrilled about either. Felonious Rage is actually not too bad either. +2/+0, and then if your creature dies, you get a detective. Oh man, a late Undercover Crocodile. It's free real estate right there. And a red-green gold card, just not a very good one. Red-green X sorcery deals X damage to any target. Then you get to put lands from your graveyard or hand onto the battlefield. I think it's just a little too expensive, and I don't want to spend 4 mana to deal 2 or 5 to deal 3. It's sure fine if you have 8 mana, just nug your opponent for 6, but I think I'm just going to take Reckless Detective. 2 mana 0/3. There we go. That's the spirit. But when you attack, you can either sack an artifact or discard a card to give it +2/+0 and draw a card. 2 mana 2/3 attacker that helps you loot. That is perfect for what I'm looking for. And now there's another Galvanize, a Glint Weaver, which is pretty good too. 7 mana, 3/3 reach, distributes 3 counters and you gain a bunch of life. And another Bite Down on Crime, but I think I just take another Galvanize. Seems pretty hard to go wrong with some 2 mana deal 3s here. I think the Felonious Rage is looking kind of bad. I already have 3 removal spells, so I feel like I'm pretty set. I probably don't need very many combat tricks. Ooh, I'll take another Killer Among Us. So when you have this, you kind of want to choose the same type for both. Is that true? Well, no, that doesn't matter. But what it does matter is that the second one of these can pump the first one of these if you want. So I'll play this, choose Merfolk, pump Merfolk. The second one, I'll play it, choose Goblin, and then I can pump either of the Goblins. Yeah, that is nice. All right, well, either way, I'm going to take it. Having a bunch of removal spells into Killer Among Us, and a bunch of Reckless Detectives, yeah, this deck is just looking great. I'll take this over a Topiary Panther for sure. Well, red-green, all great uncommons. It's excellent strategy, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, but this looks really good. We've got a lot of 2-drops. I think this V2 Ghazi Inspector, in fact, is probably not even necessary. Could still use more disguised creatures, but I've got 3 so far. And like I said, if you want, especially if you don't mind picking up some of the kind of mediocre ones like the Laundry Monster or whatever, then it's not too hard to pick up more. Okay, here there's Breakout, which lets you look at the top 6 cards of your deck and you can put a creature into your hand, but if it costs 2 or less, you can put it on the battlefield with haste. It's actually kind of sick with Reckless Detectives. But I have 3 2-drops. I'm not going to get that many more. I don't think Chalk Outline's very good either. It requires your creatures to leave your graveyard. But then again, what am I going to take? Demand Answers. Rubble Belt Maverick is pretty weak. I guess I could just take Rakish Scoundrel. Sure, I'll take the Scoundrel. It's just a kind of weak disguise creature. And here, I guess I'll take Escape Tunnel. It's a decent fixer. I don't really want to play 3 colors, so I'm not really taking it because of that. It's more like I'm not going to have any 1-drops anyway, most likely. So playing Escape Tunnel on turn 1 is good, and then you can also use it later. I guess if I were to splash, Repulsive Mutation could be a good splash. I think Goblin Maskmaker is really weak. I don't want to play that card. So, and there's Fairy Snoop, but I'm not going to be able to flip that up. Sure, I'll take a Mutation and probably just put it in the sideboard. Oh, now I think I do take Person of Interest over Rakish Scoundrel. I just think Rakish Scoundrel's on the weaker side of those kinds of creatures, and besides the Yarus, I don't really have a strong reason to take a disguised creature. Hedge Whisper, I've seen this do something, but I think Person of Interest is not bad. Oh, I do like the Scapegoat as well. This deck might not end up being aggressive enough for the Scapegoat, but we'll see. Getting free Rakish Scoundrels over here, and the curve looks really high, but that's just because of how disguised creatures look. I have these 2 Scoundrels, Creeper, Crocodile, and Hellion that are all much cheaper than they indicate here. So I'm not too concerned about... Oh, another red rare, just an unplayable one. Breakout is another card. There's another one of these, but I still don't think I'm interested. I am interested in Tunnel Tipster, though. I think any amount of those is going to be great. Buried in the Garden is also fantastic, but this deck's looking so good. Like, why splash? I think I can just play red, green, all good cards. I think I'll cut the Scapegoat, one of the Scoundrels at least. And just double Tunnel Tipster into just playing a turn 4 Killer Among Us and just bashing. Sounds really good. And in here, another Tunnel Tipster, a Topiary Panther, a Dog Walker. These are all interesting. There's also a Hedge Maze, but I don't really think I need a Surveil one. I mean, I guess it would help me splash, but then again, so would Topiary Panther. Let's just take another Tunnel Tipster, and then from here on, we'll just take every disguise card we see, basically. Nice, no disguise cards. Oh man, Steam Core Scholar's broken though. 3 mana, 2/2 Flying Vigilance. And you draw 2 cards unless you discard a creature with flying or an instant or sorcery. Kind of wonder, is there any thought to playing that in my deck? I guess I don't really see a huge reason to do that. Maybe I just take Hedge Maze. I could also take Rubble Belt Maverick, but I don't feel like... Well, I guess with 2 Reckless Detectives. All right, yeah, maybe we just take the Maverick. 2 Reckless Detectives makes this a lot more appealing. You get to discard it and then just exile it from your graveyard. Oh, there's Dog Walker. It does flip up for double red, but that's something we can worry about. There's also Concealed Weapon, but I think Dog Walker is going to be better. Though it's kind of nice that you can turn this face up and equip it to all these Tunnel Tipsters and Reckless Detectives. But I think, oh wait, there's also all these, oh wait, I have a lot of Killer Among Us tokens. No, this looks like the deck for Concealed Weapon, so I'm going to try it. And oh, Greenbelt Radical's awesome. 4 mana 4/4 is good, but also you can flip it up and give a +1/+1 counter to all your creatures, and they even gain trample. Okay, so now I guess at this moment the Rakish Scoundrel is in, just because I have so many Tunnel Tipsters. Case of the Burning Masks is also a nice one. Sorcery speed, 3 mana, deal 3, but if 3 of your sources deal damage, you get to basically sack this to Impulse. And I have a bunch of tokens, so I think I'll take this over the Vine Creeper. I'll take Rope, but I don't know how likely I am to play it. I'll probably still play this Escape Tunnel. How many Disguise creatures do I have? Well, I guess this is another one, and I have a lot of creature tokens, so flip this up as like a 7/7 or 8/8, something like that. Okay, there's Breakout. There's Goblin Mask Maker. Did we get there on a Mask Maker deck? I still don't really think so. Whereas I actually think we might have gotten there on Breakout. Or I'll take a Niv Mizzet, sure. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good 2-drops. That still probably is not getting there, is my guess. I don't know if I want this Rubblebelt Maverick all that much, but it does seem like it has like a decent amount of synergy. The second Topiary Panther would have also been kind of interesting. Airtight Alibi. That I don't mind too much. Maybe I take that over the Maverick. A lot of Hotshot Investigators. All right, let's go to deck building here because I think this deck looks pretty good. I mean, oh yeah. Arena cannot handle... The Arena Mind cannot handle the ability to play off-color disguised creatures. So let's just put the disguised creatures where they should be. Okay, and I think 7/9/1 is probably better than 8/8, given I have 3 tipsters, though 2 Reckless Detectives also help. And I do have Case of the Burning Masks. Oh, this is also a disguised creature. Yeah, I like the Rubblebelt Maverick. I think, well, if I gotta cut one. So it's either Rubblebelt Maverick or Airtight Alibi. And I guess Airtight Alibi is also pretty good on this thing. Sure, I'll cut the Maverick. It's also a good way to protect the Killer Among Us card. Like when you attack with the 3 tokens, you sack Killer Among Us to try to pump one. They have their combat or removal spell because they're waiting for that. And then you go, bam, Airtight Alibi. It's not a Killer Among Us at all. All right, this looks great. Let's get to round 1. Alrighty, time for round 1 here. This Karlov Manor draft, battle against Yargle. And I'm on the play with, wouldn't you know it, a Tunnel Tipster into a disguised creature into the Killer Among Us. So we'll see if that all works out. I guess I do need to draw at least 1 land. Well, I suppose I can cast everything but Killer and Case without a land, but a land would certainly be helpful. All right, well, there's a land. Now I'm going to go probably Morphed Crowd Control Warden, because I will turn this face up if I don't find something better to do. Oh, there's also Person of Interest. Yeah, maybe that's better, actually. It's not like I'm attacking with this Tunnel Tipster, so let's just play this. Uses my mana better, and this can attack past the Season Consultant. Plus, I guess if I drew a 5th land, I would just cast Killer Among Us anyway. Steam Score Scholar. Great card. Let's see if they get the 2-for-1. A Weird Detective with the Flavor Text of, that's weird. They discarded an instant, an Outrageous Robbery, a double black card. What's going on over there? What you got going over there, huh? I guess there's no point in attacking at that. I'll just attack with the Menace creature. You can't block, because if you block with the Scholar, I trade for that, and I doubt my opponent wants that to happen. All right, let's just cast Killer Among Us. And I'm going to go with Merfolk was the killer today. Dun 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 dun. You gotta see, the Goblin looks most like a killer, so that's why I'm saying you can't make the Goblin the killer. It's too obvious. What kind of deck plays Outrageous Robbery and Seasoned Consultant alongside blue cards? Well, apparently this one. Sure, Scoundrel can get out of here. That's not a big deal. And a Krovod Haunch. I've got a hunch that a Krovod's coming. All right, let's go Case of the Burning Masks. Nug the Steamcore Scholar. Play this, send with everyone but the Tunnel Tipster. And see how they block. If they could pick off 2 of my 3 creatures, if they block correctly. All right, they're opting out of trying to do the guessing game too much. Oh, they guessed kind of correctly. Because I chose Merfolk. All right. But was that good or bad? I don't even know what outcome they want. Do they want to have blocked it or not? Well, I also solved my Case of the Burning Masks. So next turn I can sack this to look at the top 3 and play, or exile the top 3 and play the best one. I'll block. They have a Wrath here. Oops, I meant to block, but whatever. Kind of feels like a Wrath. Yeah, all right, well, not ideal, but what can you do? All right, well, let's sack the Case here. Exile, shoot. I'll play Yarus, is that what that is? Yeah. Let's cast Yarus. Pass the turn. So they killed 4 of my cards for 3 of theirs. Kind of. Oh, and then they murder Yarus? Oh, no. Okay. I'm not liking where I'm at here, though. Oh, I guess that helps. Let's go Reckless Detective. Face down Creeper. Let's see if we can battle back. So they're really just black-white splashing Steamcore. Okay, that makes more sense. And they have like Wrath and stuff like that. All right. I buy that. Well, I'm really glad they discarded Outrageous Robbery because that would be pretty bad. Oh, Snarling Gorehound's a pretty low impact card here, though. I guess they can sack the Haunch and then... So it costs 2 and tap to sack it to gain 3, but they have to pay 2 to get the dogs. To let loose the Dogs of War. Oh, they have to pay 1 and a white? Oh, I really want to draw a land this turn to flip the Creeper and kill the Krovod Haunch. And they can equip it for 2, yeah? All right. I'm at 17, they're at 14. Okay, draw. It wasn't land. I think I'm going to take a gamble here. Oh, I could just sack an artifact. Yeah, this is like cracking my clue for free. All right, perfect. And if they want to trade with the Gorehound, that's fine. Good trade. And let's go flip this. Eat your Krovod Haunch. Delicious. All right, now I've got a 5/5 against their 2 disguise creatures, but I have Topiary Panther, which I can then cast as a 6-mana 6/5. So I like that. Also, like there's a lot of disguise creatures in these colors that can't really tangle with the Vengeful Creeper. Oh, they're going to bash me for, it's a 4/2 flying, and when it comes into play, they lose 3, but of course they flipped it up, so that was not applicable. All right. Send, oh, they just took it, nice. And then just cast this. And then I'll play the Escape Tunnel. I don't think I'm going to sack it to get a land. I think I'd rather just have it chill there. Oh, that's dorky. 3/2, and it dies into a 2/2. So, and presumably they didn't draw anything last turn either, and they drew the Undercity Sewers this turn, so they probably have to leave the Night Drinker Moroi back for a double block. Or whatever they drew last turn was not as good as flipping both their creatures, I suppose. So, yeah. Oh, they wanted to flip. That's pretty good. They get to sack their Museum Night Watch to kill my Panther. And get a 2/2. Okay. This is actually going to be pretty close now. They didn't have nothing. They had a 5-mana 3/3 that kills my creature. That's all way different. All right. Action? No? I have a bunch of Galvanizes. Let's just pass the turn. I don't think I'm supposed to trade off there. I could, but it feels like the way I win this game is to draw a removal spell for the Moroi and then draw, and then try to maybe draw another one to trade. Oh, that's not good. And 2 lands. All right, well, we start off with a loss. That's unfortunate. Let's see if we can rally from here. All right, time for round 2 here. Starting off on the wrong foot, but I think this deck's still really good, and I lost badly to a Wrath, you know. These things happen. On the play, do I keep a 2-lander on the play where I need red or any third land? I think that's better than mulliganing. Mulliganing in limited is pretty bad. I also have a land cycler and an evolving wilds. Yeah, I feel all right about keeping this. Drawing evolving wilds on turn 2 would be pretty good. Of course, if I just draw a mountain and go reckless detective, this is going to be a real easy game. Okay, a red card is not ideal. Let's see if we can find a land here. Because if I go turn 3 creeper, turn 4 Yarus, I'll win very easily, I would imagine. All right, well, step 1 is complete. Turn 3 creeper. So now we're just a red away from getting to bash. Oh, that's pretty good actually. That makes it so I couldn't bash unless they block here. Well, I couldn't go Yarus bash because that wouldn't work, but I'm going to airtight alibi this thing and take out the forensic researcher and be left with a 4/4 ward. It's pretty good. I can also play the concealed weapon face down next turn if I need to. If I don't draw anything else. Well, mountain here would still be really good. Dramatic accusation. Yeah. And concession time. That is unfortunate. It really is. All right, there's a mountain too. All right, Yarus. Yeah, that is an oops. We allow those. That's a strategic mistake. And now this game is over because I've got 2 4/4s and I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. I mean, I guess they could Wrath now. That would be something. Make your move. Kill Yarus. I think the damage has kind of been done. I already drew a card. Drew out of my brief risk of mana screw, and let's send. Let's go face down, rakish scoundrel, then play a reckless detective. And then next turn, I've got 2 removal spells. Actually, I'm very close to just having lethal. We're not quite there, but we are close. Surveillance monitor. Okay, they get to make a Thopter here. I'll probably galvanize before blocks. Oh, they have a 1-mana play. Let's go. So that's collect evidence. So they have the 1-mana make a creature a 4/3. I think is the play. And do I have 6? I don't have 6 in the graveyard, but I can go bite down on crime for 4. Wait, why is this cost modified? Hold on. I'm confused why it says it costs 2 here. Well, I'm going to have this bite down on crime. All right, it just said it cost 2 for some reason, but oh, they just didn't have anything. All right, well, I'm going to discard concealed weapon. I think I'd rather just cycle that and then get another card. I'm not going to galvanize to deal 6 to them. I don't think that's good. Maybe it is. That would put them to 2, I guess. Yeah, I guess I probably should have done that. Because then they'd be at 2 versus an escape tunnel. I guess a Wrath is bad for me kind of no matter what. All right, so they did collect evidence. Yes. And they can tap down the 4/4 for 2 turns here. All right. Yeah, I would have just won if I had did it the other way, but I mean, it felt like we were obviously in pretty good shape either way here. Discard a card. I guess now, since I don't have anything else, now I will flip this face up, give something indestructible, and then put them to 3, and then I'll play the escape tunnel, which does mean I can get 2 in with the reckless detective if I want. Okay, a 3/2 flying is most definitely not going to solve their problems here. But they can exile 2 cards from my graveyard if they so desire. And next turn, I'm just going to attack with everything. Oh, I guess they get to go to 1. Discard a card. Yeah, no reason to do anything. They can block Rake or Scoundrel, and they can chump. And that's going to be their plan. Now they're at 1. I think I will try to play around Wrath, especially since if they do Wrath... I did. I finally played around something. I get to play a Tunnel Tipster, and they're at 1, and I have a Escape Tunnel in play. Ooh, the Escape Tunnel Tipster. The combination? Oh, well, I guess I'm probably just going to play 2 face-down creatures, actually. Still better than playing a Tunnel Tipster. And I guess they have to have another Wrath? Perimeter Enforcer. Okay. And Due Diligence, making it a 3/3. Well, that is cool and all, but it doesn't give it haste or anything. And now I get to Escape Tunnel on probably the Crocodile and then attack, and I can even flip it after blockers. And it's got Ward. They're at 1 with 1 mana up, so I really don't think they're coming back out of this one, but I have played against Wrath 2 in both rounds so far. That's just kind of funny. Well, that was a beat. The game just got stuck there, and it was a draw. So I'm 0-1 still. I was still winning that game. All right, well, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to win all the other games just to make up for that. All right, let's get back in and I guess go for round 2 again. It's just MTG Arena things as per the usual. All right, well, this deck is still very good, so I still have high hopes. Even if I got cheated on a win, I'm on the draw. You know what? I'll keep a 2-lander again just to see. And this time I'm not going to get there. Ooh, they got Shock in hand. Well, it means if I draw a red, I still... Oh, such a good draw. Reckless Detective is so good. What are you going to do? Shock it? Yeah, I didn't think so. And now, assuming this thing gets to attack, my mana issues are done. Oh no, they killed it. Well, it's okay. I still have some idiots. I'll put this one down. The reason I want to play the Crocodile is... First of all, they might shock it, and I think Greenbelt Radical's better overall, but also the curve of Crocodile into Person of Interest into Flip Crocodile is pretty nice. Though, what is going on here? A little 4-color control here. I assume they're just going to shock it now. And pay Zord. All right. Well, let's go Person of Interest. I think it's, especially given that I'm getting to get multiple tokens into play, a lot better to do that. Then I can go Greenbelt Radical plus Galvanize. What I guess I don't want to see here is my opponent playing more removal spells. I'd rather than play a creature. Well, I guess I'd rather than play that because it's not even like a card. They're going to collect evidence here and investigate. Okay, not bad. Let's go... How do I want to do this? I guess I'm just going to attack with these 2. And they can block the 2/2 with without Menace, just with Gravestone Strider. And then they take 2, and that's the same attack whether I kill the Evidence Examiner or not. And then I'll play a face-down Concealed Weapon. This costs 2 to flip up, right? Oh, 3 to flip up. All right, well, I'm going to pass, and I'm going to have Galvanize up. Because there's a chance they might want to play a spell so that they can collect evidence here. They only have 3 in their graveyard and they need 4, but I'm probably going to kill the Evidence Examiner with Galvanize here in a second, but I kind of feel like they might do something a little different. Yeah, so now I'm going to go Galvanize on that, and then I'll sack my 2/2 that doesn't have Menace. And then they play another Gravestone Strider. Okay. Let's go Tunnel Tipster into face down Greenbelt Radical. And I'm going to pass the turn because they've got a bunch of things that can block. And now if I draw a land, I can flip up the Radical. I just attack with everything. Well, not the Tunnel Tipster. Flip up the Radical and then just kind of demolish any double blocks. Okay. Slam a 5/5, huh? The 5/5 is pretty good. I guess I can attack with Person of Interest. Person of Pinterest. Does it do? Can I do everything? No, I don't have enough red to do everything. I could bite down on crime, but it's just not going to get me there. I guess I can flip up. Oh, here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to flip up the concealed weapon, attach it to this, and then bite down on crime. This targets that. And then I have to exile this. All right, so bite down on crime, collect evidence, and then hit with the person of interest. And if they want to double block with Gravestone Striders, I kill both of them. No, you can't block with just one. You got to block with both. That is what Menache says. And then I'll trade that off. And they have no cards in hand now. And they're facing down a concealed weapon, a face down Greenbelt Radical, and a Tunnel Tipster. And I have Galvanize in my hand. So, all right. That worked out pretty nicely. We actually got the dub too. Very nice. 1-1. Let's keep going. All right. Battle against the mysterious hooded figure. And I'm on the play with pretty nice hand here. Tunnel Tipster into Person of Interest. And with a case of the Burning Masks as my backup plan, which is actually kind of a nice curve because this counts itself as a source that deals damage. So if I go Person of Interest and next turn play Case of the Burning Masks, attack with both creatures, then this it will solve the case. We'll see what they do. I think they have the Land Cycler in hand, the Topiary Panther is my guess. Oh, Airtight Alibi. No, let's just do the case here because I can just pay the ward. And then the case ticks to 1, and then now it ticks to 3. And so now it's solved. And then I have Airtight Alibi up later. I could have attacked first, but if they didn't block, then the post-combat case would have not flipped. Okay. Sentry, no plays. Ooh, this is gonna get ugly. Attack with these two. I assume they're gonna block the detective, but like a good detective, it's got an alibi. You ready? You're not gonna block? You're gonna take it? All right. I'm kind of surprised by that, but that's fine. In that case, let's just crack the case here, as it were. Yeah, Greenbelt Radical. Play this face down. Play this face down. Sadly, my Tunnel Tipster only gets one counter, but now I can just flip the Greenbelt Radical next turn. And unless they have another Wrath, well, they'd be the third opponent with a Wrath. I think we're doing fine. Also, if they had a Wrath, they would have definitely blocked. Yeah, now they're dead. This is pretty radical. Here, use this information how you will. They can double block my 3/3 face down creature if they want, and I guess go to 1. But yep, that seemed like an efficient way to beat my mana screwed opponent. 2-1. Let's keep going. All right. Next game against Fibblethip, who's about to totally lose in a second here. Oh yeah. This game's over. I've declared victory. Let's go. Turn 2, Reckless Detective. Turn 3, Crocodile probably. And then turn 4, Yarus. Like, what are they going to do? Killer Among Us too, huh? All right, well, I'm going to attack, and I'm going to discard a card. I guess actually we'll discard the Crocodile. And I'm going to play the Greenbelt Radical. The reason I'm not playing the Yarus here is that, the Tunnel Tipster. I could guarantee Yarus by playing Tunnel Tipster, but the reward for playing a face-down creature into Yarus is so much higher. Because now I get to do this. Send, discard the Tunnel Tipster. And what are they going to do? They're just going to take 4 and I draw a card. Yarus is unbelievable. Just making all of my disguise creatures must block, but also can't block. Like, you got to block it, but if you block it, you lose. That's a tough one. Okay, the Eavesdropper is not a bad card, but yeah. Discard a card. I'll discard a mountain. And I'm just going to galvanize the eavesdropper here. Take 8. Or do you trade? Oh, yeah. So now take 6. I don't draw a card. But then the Greenbelt Radical comes back in and turns face up and gets a +1/+1 carry all my creatures. Yeah, Yarus, Roar of the Old Gods is a ridiculous card. I will say that. All right, these games were more like what I thought this deck was going to do because, wow, this deck's got some great start potential. Ooh, and we ranked up into Platinum. All right, all right. Let's keep battling. All right, here we go. We're 3-1 on pace for a 6-2, but I actually think 3-1 is even a slightly unlucky start, but who knows. And also, if you haven't been sold on Reckless Detective yet, I don't know what it will take. Because I've had this card on turn 2 a bunch, and every time it's been a 2/3 looter for 2. Like, that's just an absurd card. His Rakish Scoundrel's finally going to do something good, get discarded to draw another card. There's a Tunnel Tipster, but I don't even think that's better. Like, it's not like the curve on Tunnel Tipster is awesome. Let's just do this. Discard the Scoundrel. Oh, I think I'm still going to play a Crocodile. The reason is, if I play a Detective, I could loot more, but now I can play 2 2s on 4. I guess I'd have to just discard whatever I draw looking for a land. Novice Inspector on turn 3. Guess better late than never. Well, now I can just discard one of the Tunnel Tipsters, I think. That's going to be my plan. Because I think I'd rather have 2 Reckless Detectives. And discard a card. Tunnel Tipster. Nice land. Then I'm going to draw a card, take 4, and then I'm going to go Reckless Detective, Tunnel Tipster, which sets up a bunch of things. I can cast Killer Among Us. I can flip up the Crocodile. I could play Riftburst Hellion. I'm not sure about that yet. Okay, will kind of depend what their turn 4 play is, I guess. That'll give me a lot more information as to kind of what's coming next. Well, a face down card is what's coming next. Attack with these 3. Discard a card. I'll discard a land. I don't need a land here. Discard a card. I'll discard a land. Well, I drew my weakest of all the cards in the last moment. But I thought there's a reasonable chance I was flipping up my creature anyway. Okay, Crocodile up. Take 4. Didn't cost me a card to kill their thing. Now it looks like they're going to kill my Crocodile, but these Reckless Detectives are just wailing on them here. Oh, are we going to shock or torch the Witness on the Tunnel Tipster? Okay, you might as well attack if you're not going to block. Oh, well, Yarus doesn't actually do anything right now, so let's go ahead and discard the Scoundrel, try to find a land, and then now discard Tunnel Tipster. The time for Tunnel Tipsters have passed. If I drew a land, I was just going to play Killer Among Us because it just hits for it's more board presence than Yarus. It's actually like a 4/4+2 on ones, but totally happy just playing Yarus here. And really just winning the game off these 2 Reckless Detectives. They've done tons of damage, and so far I've looted away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I mean, that's just awesome. Oh, we'll see. Okay. So they did play a good one. Tolsmir and Voja is very good. I guess I probably just go Case of the Burning Masks, kill Tolsmir, and then pass the turn. And then next turn I can go Riftburst Hellion attack. Hopefully they don't kill Yarus. And I've got Airtight Alibi as well. That's a potential. Glintweaver. Oh, they're going big. All right. They're going to make Glintweaver into... They're going to make them both large. A 5/5 and a 6/6. Oh, nope. A 7/7. And you're attacking? Does this... I guess they've... No, I guess they gained 7. That makes sense. But it's still pretty aggressive, I feel like. Maybe not. Let's go Killer Among Us here. I'm going to choose Merfolk. And then I'm going to attack with my Merfolk. And I think that's it. They're not going to block. I wouldn't imagine. Okay, I'm just going to Killer Among Us the Merfolk, take 4, pass the turn, and setting up a pretty nice attack next turn, I think. Okay, they have a Surveil, they have a Clue. I mean, Toolsmere into Glintweaver is a good way to stabilize, so if they have another big drop here, it looks like they're cracking a Clue first, which would be nice. I mean, I also have a pretty good set of follow-ups. Killer Among Us into like Rift Burst Hellion when I have Yarus in play is nice. Okay, a face down card. They can't really attack. They're still bashing. Yeah, I mean, I guess. All right, I'll take it again. It's 6 here. Let's go face down Hellion. Land and attack with these 2, I think. And they're either going to block. Yeah, they're blocking there. I'm happy to trade. Do they have a... Is this a Gardener? Eager Gardener or Nervous Gardener? Yeah, that's fine. So I take 4 down to 7. But now I have Airtight Alibi to untap my Hellion here. Well, actually, my Hellion is just going to be untapped anyway. So it's to protect the Hellion even. Okay, so now they can't attack with the wolf anymore, I don't think. Or at least not without having something. Oh, they have something. All right, well, let's go Hellion, Goblin, and I think the Reckless Detectives can block there too. Just because... your trade? Sure. I'm happy... I didn't really want to take a risk there. And they played a 6-5. Okay. And now I drew a land. Let's just get some value here. Let's attack with the 2 Reckless Detectives and the Merfolk. And then go discard. Because this will trigger the Case of the Burning Masks. Discard. And let me loot twice. All right. And I think I'm going to Airtight Alibi to trade here. At least that's my plan. All right. And then the Case of the Burning Masks will get solved end of turn. And they're at 5. And I still have Yarus in play, who's a nice haster. All right. They get to exile 2 cards. So this is... Yeah, it's only this turn. So I don't really want to sack the Case yet. Okay, you're going to exile my 2 most expensive cards here. So it would have worked out a lot better to go for Airtight Alibi on that big block, but I felt like I was doing all right. And if that got broken up, I would just lose the game. Oh yeah, we should be doing fine here. Actually, do we even need to do that? I think. Let's go Galvanize the Griffin. And then cast Person of Interest. And then I don't attack with the detective. I attack with everything else, though. They block Yarus and they die. Or they have removal for Yarus, and then they block the 2/2 and they go to 1. All right. Ended up being way closer than it looked, but we got another dub. And where are we at now? We're at 4-1, I believe. Yep. Let's head back in. All right. 4-1. Battle against Jace, the Mind Sculptor. And I am on the draw with a very good hand. I get to go Tipster into Scoundrel. Ooh, Case of the Filched Falcon's also very good, though. All right, let's go Escape Tunnel and just get my forest here. Pass the turn. Case of the Burning Masks is not a bad one. Do they have 1-drop into 2-drop? Or are they just cracking their Clue? Yeah, that's fine. They're playing the Blue Thraben Inspector. Oh, I love this start. This is actually such a good curve because it's like turn 2 Tipster, turn 3 Person of Interest, turn 4 Scoundrel Tipster, and they both trigger, and then Case of the Burning Masks the next turn. No, a dramatic accusation has led to my tunnel tipster being tapped down. Let's just tipster again. So I could have cast Scoundrel into Person of Interest, but tipster into Person of Interest lets me Topiary Panther a turn earlier. Oh, okay. They really don't like these tunnel tipsters. I guess in red-green they are pretty dangerous. All right, let's just cast Person of Interest now. And now, unfortunately, if I don't draw a land next turn, I'm going to have to cycle the Topiary Panther because they did take out my tunnel tipsters. Well, removal's not that good against Person of Interest, but they're probably done playing removal now, and they're going to play a creature. Would be my guess. Okay, what do they got? Face down card. Certainly. Oh yeah. What if we just draw a bad disguise creature instead? All right, well, I'm going to hit here. Don't know what they're up to, but certainly not served by not attacking. All right, let's cycle this. Get a forest. Land and Crocodile. Oh, do they have Reasonable Doubt? That's unfortunate. Oh no, they're flipping Coveted Falcon. Gonna give me a land or something? Oh, they can give me Makeshift Binding too. Oh, and Case of the Filched Falcon. No, they should have definitely given me Makeshift Binding as well. Huh. Wild. All right, well, they're going to take their land back, I suppose. Makes the most sense. And I'm going to take one. I mean, that was pretty good. Though, they should have given me the binding, too. That would have been so sick. And the dramatic... Wait, why didn't they just give me all of these things? Huh. I guess they built a sick combo deck, but they didn't know how it worked. Yeah. What's going on? I'm so disappointed in them, even though it makes me a lot more likely I'm going to win this game. Let's just send here. Okay. All right, sure. I feel like they have something, so I don't really want to flip and let them go first. If they want to just trade, then we'll trade, and I'll play 2 Raker Scoundrels face down. That seems fine to me. Oh, yep, that would have been really bad if I flipped. Okay. All right, 2 face-down creatures. My Tunnel Tipster grows ever larger. And then these flip for 6, and they become a Death Toucher, and then one of your creatures gets indestructible. Kind of nice. And now they're not attacking with the Coveted Falcon. I am going to send Eavesdropper is going to block. Falcon's going to block. All right, I'll flip this face up. And this gets indestructible. They've got a bounce spell or something, then, you know, so be it. No, Fanatical Strength. So their Falcon win beats my other one. And I think I don't play a land. The reason I don't want to play a land is I've got 2 of the Reckless Detectives in my deck, so kind of got to wait on that. 3/3 Death Touch is looking pretty good here, too. I guess the Raker Scoundrel's not the worst. It's kind of a... Oh, well, that's not something I'm going to take out. I definitely don't want to let Alquist Prof cast some Sphinx's Revelations here. Their deck looks a little scattered. I'm not sure what Fanatical Strength is doing in the deck. The rest, I guess the rest is kind of pretty cohesive. And then they played the Looter Detective before playing the other detective. That's also an option, I guess. Let's go Case. Take out your Master Detective. Attack with these 3. I can trade off for the Scoundrel, but it stops their Looter, block that, and then they take 3. Now my Case is live, and then I'm going to play my land, because now I need my land. Play the Greenbelt Radical, pass the turn. If I can ever free this Tunnel Tipster, it's gotten large. And now they get to sack some clues here, presumably, unless they have like an 8-drop. If they have like Okay. It's a 5/5. That's not the end of the world. Okay, so this is going to turn into a 5/5. It'll make its other things into 3/3s. Let's see. Oh, Galvanize is interesting. So I don't have a way to draw 2. So now I can sack the case, but the problem with sacking the case is then I can't flip the Greenbelt Radical. And I think flipping Greenbelt Radical is good enough that I should just attack. And all right, they're going to block. Yep, look, and then I just flip this. They take 3 down to 5. These two trade. And I'm left with 2 3/3s, one of which has Menace against their 1/4. And then I have a Galvanize in hand, and next turn I can then sack this. So I can probably play 2, probably not 3 spells next turn, but pretty likely to play 2 spells next turn. I'm still just disappointed they didn't really Falcon me, because now I want to draft the deck with a bunch of Auras and Falcon. Ooh, they're analyzing the pollen. What does the pollen have? Smell that pollen. What's their best creature in their deck? Definitely could still lose to that. I feel like I'm in really good shape, though, because a 3/3 Menace is pretty good on this board, especially with a Bolt in hand. And I have Draw Step plus Burning Masks. So I've got some things going on. But I don't know if they played something sick. Well, that was not that sick. Like, okay. Evidence Examiner. Sure, I can make another clue. Oh, and a crowd control word they already had is a 6/6. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I got to hand it to them. And they get to get the eavesdropper out of here and get another clue. Okay. I mean, I'm still on the verge of winning here. Oh, that does win me the game, but I guess I'll sack this just in case. I have 7 mana. Yeah, I guess I'll take Reckless Detective, but let's go Bite Down on Crime. Yeah, this is a dub. You are going to bite the Coveted Falcon, exiling a Panther. Boom. Then Galvanize is going to take out the Evidence Examiner. The opponent's deck was very cool, though. I will say that. And then this attacks with Menace, and they go to 0. Oof. All right. We got that one. Brings us to 5-1. Let's see if we can get to 7. All right. Another round up here. Opponent goes first. This hand is like a pretty clear mulligan. I wouldn't mulligan a hand of all 3 drops all the time, but I only have 1 color of mana, and this deck has so many 2 drops. All right, well, I'm going to have to keep this. I need double red more. I'm probably going to cycle the Panther anyway, but the reason I kept Panther over a land is A, I might not cycle it, but B, the Bite Down on Crime combo is nice where you cycle Panther and that pays for biting down on crime. Okay. Ooh, Aftermath Analyst. Mill 3. Wow, they milled 3 lands and they had to fetch an Evolving Wild, so now they can sack this to bring 4 lands back. How lucky. What a deck building win. Let's just not cycle, I don't think. I just don't really think it does anything for me. I can just cast Bite Down on Crime later. Let's play the Scoundrel, because this one I don't really mind blocking with. And then, yeah, sure. All right, that works for me. What do you got? Fairy Informant. All right, well, I'll play Crocodilf, and I'll play my Escape Tunnel and sacrifice it, since don't think this game is going to be slow rolling Escape Tunnel, given that I have a Panther. All right, yeah, get your lands back. That was pretty sick. That card is almost never that good, but worked out there. I mean, it's fine in a Collect Evidence deck as just a card, but it is funny how they milled literally 3 lands. Hopefully my Crocodile does some good work here. Vengeful Creeper. I'm just going to flip this thing face up. Better than doing anything else I could be doing. Ooh, hit for 5. Get to investigate. All right, not bad. It's so funny how, like, the Crocodile gets to investigate because that's the theme of the set. Oh, no, black mana? I don't like that. Oh, and they flipped their own Crocodile. But it's so much weaker than drawing a card. Oh, and they get a +1/+1 counter and a fight? Yikes. Look, I can't even be mad that they just completely spiked on the Aftermath Analyst so they have so much mana. Yeah, I'm losing pretty bad here. They'll just be able to leverage all their disguised creatures given that they just got one card, put 4 lands into play. V2 Ghazi Inspector. Put a counter on that. All right, well, I'm going to play the Topiary Panther, and I guess just hope their face-down card isn't something absurd. They also do get to crack the clue and then take their turn, so yeah, I can't say I love my spot. I mean, I guess I block the Crocodile. Is that what I do here? Oh. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take a little risk. I'm going to block the V2 Ghazi Inspector and see what's up. Bubble Smuggler. Oh. Okay, I'm dead. You don't have to do anything. Sure, they wanted to show me they had me. Well, they did. All right. Took another dub. And let's keep going because we still could very much win a trophy here. All right, 5-2. Got a 2-0 for the trophy. Seems doable. I'm on the play, and I have a turn 2 Reckless Detective. Well, that's game. Everyone knows that's game. Let's get this Reckless Detective into play ASAP here. And I'm hoping I can discard to the Detective and hit him a 3rd land drop, or I guess I just didn't even need to. Because I would like to play my Riftburst Hellion, or maybe Concealed Weapon face down. Soul Search. Well, they can't get a 1 or fewer cost card, so that helps at least. They could take my Riftburst Hellion. I think that's probably... Well, no, I have 2 disguised creatures, so they could take my 1 removal spell, or they could take whichever disguised creature they think is better. I don't think taking Topiary Panther makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, Soul Search is not bad. If you're black-white, I think it's a good card, but I'm just glad I was on the play so I could get this Detective into play. All right, Bite down. Let's attack. I'm just going to discard a mountain, which kind of makes it obvious I drew a land, but I think that's fine. And then play, I guess, a face-down Concealed Weapon. I mean, I could discard Topiary Panther there, but I think I'll just discard that next turn. Oh, Airtight Alibi is kind of nice. So let's attack. Discard a card, Topiary Panther. All right, we hit our land drop. Take 4, land, play a face-down Creeper. They don't even know the Riftburst Hellion's still in my hand. I think this Airtight Alibi is going to be decent this game. We'll see. We'll see. But it feels like the sort of thing that they're likely to run into. 2-1. All right, well, I'm going to send. And I'm going to discard probably the Tunnel Tipster here. And Greenbelt Radical, okay. Just going to block there, sure. I'll pass. And they exile that. Oh, not on my watch. Not on my watch indeed. Take a bunch of damage, and now this Reckless Detective is extremely reckless. Not so reckless that it didn't establish a very strong alibi, though. Oh, there goes the Reckless Detective. Unfortunately, they blocked the Vine Creeper, so I can't even kill the Makeshift Binding. Another Reckless Detective. Let's just cast Greenbelt Radicals, a 4/4. Hit for 2. And then if I draw land 5, I can play both these. This is going to be close, though. The binding was a good way to get out from the problem they were in. Oh, man, and they kill the Greenbelt Radical now. So it's their face-down card versus mine. They have 1 card in hand. They have more stuff overall, but this works nicely. So you go to 6, play this face down, play this, and pass the turn. All right, very close game. We've traded off a lot of cards, but in doing so, they've taken a lot more damage. So I think that gives me the upper hand. I'm not able to flip. Oh, they flip Fairy Snoop now, looking for action. Well, that's really nice for me, because that's just not a very high impact creature here. So I'm kind of happy no matter what. Obviously, I'd prefer them not to play another spell this turn. They discarded Wojak Investigator? What? This is a 3-mana 2/4 Flying Vigilance. Huh. I'm astounded, but okay. I'm just going to attack with my very obvious Riftburst Hellion. They can chump it with the inside source if they want. Honestly, they knew about Riftburst Hellion before, and they know that these have to be concealed weapon Riftburst Hellion. They don't need to... Like, they know that I can't really spend my mana on anything else. They should just block it with the 1/1, I think. Like, it's not like you need to force me to do this. But either way, well, now if they answer the Hellion, I'm not loving it. But now I don't need any excess land, so the Reckless Detective's kind of back online. Yeah, all right. I guess they found Makeshift Binding was probably the last card they found. A Tunnel Tipster. So if I attack, it's a 2/3. If I equip the weapon, it's a 5/3, so I can kill those 2. Yeah, that's, I think, worth discarding, because I also don't mind... Oh, yeah, I don't mind that. Okay, so I want to kill, yeah, these 2. Turn this face up. Take those out. And then this concealed weapon is going to be really good with Killer Among Us. All right, don't play... the Unscrupulous Detective or what have you, the one that gets out of my that makes me discard a card or exile a card. Wisp Dricker Vampire is very good, but so is Killer Among Us. I'll go with Human this time. Okay, so they have a 2/4. Whenever they play a small creature, I get drained for 1, and they can pay 7 to give their small creatures lifelink and death touch. Okay, there. No cards in hand. So I named Human. So what I think I'm going to do is attach Concealed Weapon to one of my creatures, and let's put it on the Merfolk. And let's attack here. And I'm kind of happy no matter what happens. Okay. Block like that. Oh, those are perfect blocks for me. Those are the best blocks possible. Because now they don't have anything to go with their Wisp Drinker. Oh, hold on. This weapon actually equips for quite cheap. So now I can just equip the Goblin, and now I just have a squad. Okay, this looks pretty good now. The Killer Among Us is such a busted card. Wow. And Concealed Weapon with Killer Among Us is also really nice. Just to... you end up with 2 4/1s and a 4/4, kind of. Like, you can't have all the 4/1s at the same time. But so now they can give this Death Touch and Lifelink. So, I mean, they're not dead, but they have to spend their turn and trade Wisp Drinker Vampire for my face-down creature, because I'll attack with that too. It's that, or they trade for the 4/4, so it doesn't really seem better. Oh, really? Was this better than pumping the Wisp Drinker? I kind of doubt it, but all right, well. We'll see what it is, I suppose. Their deck looks pretty nice. Wojak Investigator's awesome. Bunch of banishes or bindings, soul searches. I don't know. Good deck. Wisp Drinker Vampire, Soul Innervation. But I would say Reckless Detective did some good work this game. Little LSV's Detective Agency over here. So what are your blocks now? I guess it depends on what this face down card is. It's kind of hard to speculate without knowing that. But I'm going to flip this croc regardless. Are you just not blocking with the Wisp Drinker? It seems like a kind of rough play to make. Okay, they're going to block the 4-1. Okay, well, I'll turn this face up. And they turn their Fairy Investigator face up, or what is this? Oh, Museum Night Watch. So they leave behind a 2-2. Okay, and let's put Concealed Weapon on the human. Now both my creatures are lethal. They have to draw if they draw a removal spell, they can chump. If they drew they do nothing, so they're dead. If they went like kill your crocodile, chump into another removal spell, maybe they come back, or another creature, but then they're chumping. All right, as always, comes down to the wire. We're 6-2, battling here for the trophy. Let's see how this goes. Battling against Elspeth. And see, we're on the draw, and that's a lot of Tunnel Tipsters, but I will keep. On the draw with a Galvanize, and then any forest, this becomes like a really good hand. Okay, that's a good card to draw if I draw a forest. If I don't draw a forest, then, you know, this is going to be tough. Ooh. Well, they played a bunch of equipment. All right, now I at least have galvanized their play this turn into a face-down creature. Okay, well, their draw is not looking fantastic, but if I don't draw a forest, this is going to be a hard game to win. Yeah. Okay, forest is nice. So now I just go galvanize that. Tunnel Tipster, and now the floodgates open. The mole gates open. We're going to make a mountain out of a molehill. Or perhaps a molehill out of a mountain. So Market Watch Phantom. Oh, no equips, huh? That's interesting. Let's go face down Crowd Control Warden. Okay. Attack with this. Block. All right. I mean, they have 2 equipment in place, so I'm pretty happy trading. Now I play Tunnel Tipster, and I feel like they have reasonable doubt. Well, or not. Are they just cracking a clue is what they wanted to do? I feel like spacing out my face-down creatures is for the best here. I'm feeling great now. Drawing the forest means that we just get to kind of fire on all cylinders here. I'm a little worried about Wrath, given how they played that last turn, but what are you going to do? Okay, makeshift binding. Sure. Okay, I'm no longer worried about Wrath. So there goes my thing, and now I get to go Crocodelph, Tunnel Tipster, bash with the moles. The mole army is coming for them. And then the Tunnel Tipsters. Now I have a bunch of 3/3s and a 2/2, and actually this Rakish Scoundrel is going to make them into a 4/4s. Oh, they do get to make a 4/5 here, which means I guess I attack with this thing. Oh yeah, we're flipping this. Take 5, I get a clue. And then I'm going to play... actually think... Which one do I play? It's actually kind of interesting. Let's actually play the Rakish Scoundrel. I feel like if there's a Wrath, I'd rather just have Rift Burst lined up, and I think they're getting to the point where they're going to need a Wrath in order to not die here. Because I guess next turn I can just attack with everything. Well, you can't attack. That's illegal. Land. Yeah, now I can attack with everything, and with a Rakish Scoundrel, there's not much that can go wrong. Okay. You're going to make some doges. Well, that's fine. I'm still going to do this. Jump, block, block. Yeah, I'll turn this face up. Make my Tunnel Tipster indestructible. And do they have exile target attacking creatures? It feels like they do. Yeah, so they're going to kill the Crocodile. All right. And they still take 7. Yeah, I think we're pretty happy with how this is going. Meticulous Archive. And then next turn, I might just attack with Rakish Scoundrel if they play a creature here. Oh, they did more than that. They played 3 1/1 flyers and surveilled 2. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, not good enough, I don't think. Not without finding more. Because next turn I actually have enough mana. I'll go attack with Scoundrel. They presumably like block with a dog or take it. I guess they could trade 2 Thopters and a dog for it. That seems a little rough. Then I'll play Riftburst Hellion, which makes the Tipsters big enough to attack past the Cold Case Cracker. And then if they attack with anything, I can even flip the Riftburst Hellion. So I'm kind of happy no matter how this works. All right, you know, Rakish Scoundrel, it earned its keep today. I will say that. Not the best card in the world, but far from the worst. I think a big turn in this game was when they played Market Watch Phantom and chose to crack a clue instead of equipping the Thinking Cap. And when you have Thinking Cap in play, the reason that card's good is you just want to maximize the value of all your detectives. Why do we block with that instead of the dog? Huh. All right, disguise this. These tipsters are getting pretty big. Still afraid of a Wrath, of course. Conspiracy Unraveler. Wow, okay. And they can play something out of their hand because evidence 10. All right. That's pretty good. If they got something there. All right, well, I'm going to spend 6 mana to turn this face up. Draw, Case of the Burning Masks. Okay, well, let's start by drawing a card with the clue. Yarus. That doesn't actually do anything right now. So they have, if they have an instant, they have an instant. I don't feel like they do. Let's see. If I kill a blocker, they'll block 4 things. So they block all those, and then this eats a 5/5, this eats a 4/4. They chump. So what I think I'm going to do instead is, well, what do I do? If I attack with, I think I attack with everything and then just nug the Sphinx afterwards, or I attack with the Rift Burst and the Rakish Scoundrel, and then play Yarus. No, that doesn't seem as good as attacking with everything, because it's pretty hard for them to turn down some of these blocks. So they're going to be left with a Cold Case Cracker at the very end of this thing. Nug that. And then this flips. And then now I've gotten rid of all the tokens. All right, they get their 1/1. Oh, I guess you can just play this after. Yeah, of course. After attacking. All right, well, that's not bad. Prof's eidetic memory means, into private eye. Wow, okay. Means at the end of turn, they're going to get a +1/+1 counter. They didn't own something. We're going to equip the Novice Inspector and then put a +1/+1 counter on the private eye, maybe? Because Novice Inspector trades for Rakish Scoundrel. I don't know if moving the Thinking Cap was actually good. Because now the Cold Case Cracker can't block anything all that well. All right, well, let's sack the Case of the Burning Masks. I feel like if I find anything good here. Killer Among Us. 4, 7. Because if I play Yarus and Killer Among Us, I don't attack with the Tipster anymore, but I attack with... Yeah, that's got to be great. So I'll do this. Killer Among Us. Let's go Goblin and attack with everything. And they don't have great blocks. At best, they go like Chump Hellion, trade there, and then hope to block. I don't even know which one they want. Like, do they want to block the one that I'm going to pump, or do they not? Well, they did. All right. So these trade. So it's like Chump, trade. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be game for them. They get a clue. Now they have 2 clues, but they're at 5 against 5 creatures. if they draw a creature, it's going to get a lot of +1/+1 counters from Prof's Eidetic Memory. It's going to get 2. But, oh yeah, their deck looks really good. But, you know, our deck is also extremely good. And woo, there we go. 7 ball. A fitting end, playing against a very good blue-white detective deck. But those tunnel tipsters really did the job there. Let's take a look at this deck, because this deck was kind of a work of art. Triple tunnel tipster, double reckless detective, just so many good 2s. And then for removal, 2 galvanize, Case of the Burning Masks, which actually was really good, better than I expected. And a bite down on crime. Had 2 Killer Among Us and Yarus as like really good threats, and then a bunch of, yeah, you know, medium disguised creatures as okay threats. Well, it's like Greenbelt Radical being like one of the better ones. And the Topiary Panther was pretty nice too. So this deck ended up working out really nicely. Got the 7 wins. It, in fact, even kind of had to get 8 because we kind of got cheated out of a win when Arena just made the game a draw when I was 95% to win or something. But you know what? That'll do it. I think I might have been 100, honestly. That'll do it for today. I appreciate you hanging out and watching me draft some Markovs at Karlov Manor here, and I hope you're enjoying the new set, because I've been having a lot of fun too. I'll be back tomorrow, likely with another cube draft, so I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.